So speaking of virtual reality or VR, as you may call it, it's interesting to note that this sector has been around for quite a while now. Specifically speaking, it's been around since 2016, which of course marks the year of virtual realities world over. Today on SME Hub, we will be talking to a few entrepreneurs in Nigeria who have not only made this sector an entertaining place for fun seekers, but of course, a lucrative enterprise for investors. I have with me Faith Odeasi, the Chief Operating Officer of Immersia Virtual Reality Studio. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
All right, so looking at it from a layman's point of view, coming here could just be maybe I want to come play video games. But what exactly is the entertaining value it brings, first of all? And what exactly is virtual reality?
All right. Okay. Virtual reality is not just video games. Virtual reality is, of course, one of the latest technology around the world today. And what it does to the user is that it creates an entirely, different environment from your current environment. So it simulates, there are so many kinds of environments that you can be immersed in virtual reality. So you could, for example, in the streets of Lagos, you could actually take a walk in virtual reality on the streets of New York, and it feels like you're actually there.
Really?
Yes, you can. You could actually go to interesting places, of course, that have been captured in virtual reality, and it actually immerses you into that world, and it feels like you're there. So virtual reality is not just video games, right? You are very much more involved. It's a first-person reality experience where you're actually involved. You can almost touch things, feel, and of course, it feels like you're there. It's real. It's almost real.
Okay.
All right.
Now, speak to us about the experience of the business from the point of, an investor or a business owner. How long have you been in this business, first of all?
So we've been in business for about 5 years now, because we kicked off in 2017. So, and it's been a very profitable venture. Of course, we've grown from a very small, because we started on a very, very small scale.
I was about going there because I know you had your start somewhere. What was the acceptance like?
Okay, so like I said, we started in 2017. That was like a year after the introduction of virtual reality, basically. So it was, at first, people wanted to try out, oh, this is new. Let's check. We've not done this before. Oh, so initially we didn't start out like people weren't paying for it.
Oh, really?
Yes, we just, because we had a business we were running at that time.
What business was it?
We have a gadget store.
Okay.
So because we're a tech company anyway, so we maintained our tech. Okay. So we had a gadget store, and we just wanted something like a side attraction.
Okay.
For people, and we were retailing as well. We're retailing virtual reality equipment, but people before they buy would want to try out what they wanted. So it was more like a side attraction. So, and we deliberately use the scary content so that people could freak out, and everybody was like, what's going on there? I want to try this out. What's happening? And of course it was the latest technology. So the acceptance was good. Of course it was new. People wanted to try out new things, right? And it was good. It was actually very good. And of course, like I said, we didn't start off charging people for it. We just, okay, come, it's free. Why don't you try it and see what it's like? And of course, over time, we saw that, people loved the experience, or they always wanted to try something. Like, oh, can I see something else? Oh, can I? And of course, we decided to, from there, make a business out of it.
That's a nice idea. I'm thinking that could be another catch for me if I want to go into some kind of business.
Okay.
Because obviously, like people say, it's not all about money. If you put it out there that it's all about money, you might just scare a lot of people. But I like that idea where you say, why not come try it out and see for yourself? Perhaps after trying 1 or 2 attempts, you might now want to say, okay, I'm
yes,
moved.
Definitely.
I like that.
We were able to even sell. Like I told you, we were retailing the
gadget
then it was
store.
the Oculus Go.
Okay.
So we were retailing it. So it was easier to sell it. When people experienced it, then they wanted to buy.
Okay, so Now, how much on an average did it cost you to put all of this in place when you first started?
Okay. Well,
On an average.
on an average, actually, like I said earlier, we actually started very small.
How
So we
small?
started with just one Oculus Go, and at the time, I think it was about 120,000 naira at that time. So that's what we started with, actually, just one Oculus Go. Of course, it was stock to be sold, but we decided to like, okay, why don't you just try to make a business out of it? So we took one of our stock and we so that was how much it actually cost us to start.
Okay.
And
Now-
eventually we've grown, we've opened up stores, we've done a lot of things actually, but but initial startup capital was about 120,000 naira.
Okay, so 120,000 as at when you started.
Yes.
Now, looking at how far you've come, because
Mm.
I'm looking at the point where entrepreneurs think of scaling up their business, because starting up can be very challenging, especially with looking at your trading capital, what you're going to invest into that business. You've gone past that particular phase.
Yes.
Now, I'm sure the phase you are in is about maybe trying to still invest into the business and trying to maintain the business to stay afloat.
Well, I'm not sure that
Does
that's
that
where we
apply
are
to
now.
you?
Well, I think where we are currently, because currently now we're one of the largest VR equipment rental store in
Really?
in Lagos. Yeah, we have like a large base of virtual reality equipment.
Wow.
So yes.
So what was it
So-
like for you? What was the challenge like for you trying to scale up at some point?
Okay. Yeah. So of
Because
course.
you no longer had just one, but you
One,
had
yeah.
several.
So we
now.
had to,
Yeah.
we had to like, cause of the acceptance,
Okay.
it was growing. So we bought an extra one and another one. That was what we were using, and of course, because of the acceptance and the turnover, how fast we were able to make
Yeah.
the money back. So we decided to expand, and of course, we have a very creative chief operating officer. That's our CEO. Is the I say is the creative behind Imasha Virtual Reality. Of course, with his tech, because he has a background in tech, and with the research, carried out some research, and yeah, we had to now buy racing simulators, to create an entirely different experience.
Racing what?
Racing simulators. They are called virtual reality racing simulators. In terms of financing, we had to bootstrap. Okay, we kind of bootstrapped all the way until maybe when we now needed to like expand. I think that was last year when we decided to look at debt financing options. But from the initial stage, we bootstrapped all the way. So we just took back the money that we made and invested it back in the business.
Okay,
and
so
all
looking
that.
at it, in a space of time,
Yeah.
how much did it take you to scale up to that level where you are right now?
Well, I'll say on
On an average,
on an
still.
average between 60 to 100 million naira. Yeah.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's go a little further into the business activity that you do here. What are some of the challenges that you face or you're faced with in this sector? Or personally, what were some of the challenges that you faced while
Okay.
moving on in the business?
Okay, like firstly I said financing, of course, one. Then secondly, of course, because it's virtual reality is a nascent technology, and because of its nascence, we had to tend towards entertainment. Although we've done application development, we've done education, virtual reality, where we went to schools, worked with schools.
What was the experience? What was the reception like?
Oh, so because it was new, so a lot of schools didn't embrace us as much, and of course we got feedback, very good reception from some other schools. So like we were able to, for example, we had content where you could actually teach biology with virtual reality, and
Really?
yes, so you could travel, for example, as opposed to just drawing pictures and showing students visuals, they could actually get immersed in the human body and you could see the heart and almost touch it.
Like seriously.
Yeah, so like we did all that. Even the solar system, you could travel to Venus and go to Mars, see what it looks like, and all that. So we tried a lot of things, of course. But entertainment for us was the part that was people quickly embraced. So I'll say the challenges that we faced in that regard was that, and of course it's a recurring thing because entertainment, the entertainment sector has its seasons. So on some periods you have, there's a peak period, especially during the festive periods and during holidays, and of course there will be an increase in revenue.
So what do you do when these periods, have elapsed?
When
To stay in business,
thank you.
yeah.
So what we do is, of course, first of all, we have an active social media campaign running. We also have a website. So what we do is we try to reduce our prices, put packages together. Also, we also do rentals. So as opposed to people coming, a lot of people are maybe at their work, at home, busy with other things. So we also do a rental service where we
How do you
can.
mean rental?
So we can actually bring our experience to you wherever you are.
Or like you take some of this equipment to the
Yes.
homes of people?
Yes. To the homes, schools, workplaces, events. So we,
At what cost does it come to the customer?
of course,
Especially when you have to bring such.
yeah. So our prices are very
equipments to their
affordable.
homes.
Actually, we try to make it as affordable as possible.